today is the feast day of All Saints. Today we honor those unsung heroes who have attained eternal happiness by quietly doing their duty to God and man here on earth. We do not know many of their names because they silently went about doing good. Let us consider and imitate their virtues. What sets them apart from the rest of men and women? We cannot read their lives because their life did not appear notable to the eyes of the world. True, a St. Francis or a St. Thomas More were noticed by the world because they stood firm on principle when God called them to. However, most of us are called to stand quietly firm on principle, unnoticed by the world, or at least by most of it. God calls most to the most humble acquiring of virtue away from the notice of the world. So what sets a saint apart from the rest of men? How do we acquire sanctity while living in the midst of the world? For few are called to the desert of the monastery. No, we are called to sanctify the world by sanctifying ourselves. First of all, the saints prayed, and far more than a simple daily rosary. The saints acquired a spirit and habit of prayer, morning, noon, and night. Their joy was to be able to steal away for a few minutes when some duty did not call them elsewhere, to devote to prayer and recollection. Prayer is the life of a saint, and therefore must be our life as well. The saints fulfilled their duties to God, themselves, and their fellow man most faithfully. A saint is that good, zealous worker in the factory that is a cut above the rest. A saint is that housewife who keeps all things in order and cheerfully greets her husband returning home from work in the evening with a good hot dinner. A saint is an ordinary person who does ordinary things extraordinarily well. Let us consider one aspect of the saints. We all have free time, that is, time that is not committed to some duty or other. What we do with this time shows what we truly hold to be important. And the saints disposed of their free time in the best manner possible. Instead of sitting in front of the television, they would take time away to spend either with their spouse or playing with their children. And if they were free of even these duties, they found this a good time to spend with Almighty God. The choices we make decide whether we are eternally happy or eternally miserable. So let us make the right choices, for each and every one of us is called to be a saint. Go take a look in the mirror. That person looking back at you is called to be a great saint. So look at that person carefully and consider, God is calling me to be a great saint, and then go about fulfilling God's will in your life.